everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to those who haven't yet, I really hope you do. Just completed my 38th year coaching football as a defensive coordinator, but over that span, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. So today, in this presentation, I'd like to talk to you about a member of our dog family that we simply call Rover Dog. Okay, Rover Dog. And I'm even going to show it to you with the stick tag. So Rover Dog, stick it. Okay, so we're going to do it today versus both 11 and 10 personnel, so you can see it when the Rover is attached on a tight end and when he is detached because number 2 is detached. Okay, no tight end. All right, we're going to run it out of our base, and so that'll all factor in when I get to the diagram part of the presentation today. So the key terms, okay? What's meant by a D crash? That's the dog. Well, in a Rover Dog, it's the Rover, okay? So when it's a dog blitz, the D crash defender has force cage, which means he's got contain on the run, force is what we call it, and cage on the pass, which means contain. He's got both. Okay, hence RP. Therefore, he's also the boot defender on play away from him. Run action away, he plays for the boot. And if the running back flares to him, or I remember he's got force, so if it's a speed option, he peels off with the pitch back. Peel with the running back. Okay, so that has to be a flare or a pitch path. Okay, and I'll cover that as when we get to the diagram part of the presentation as well. What's meant by the C-scrape? That is the first inside linebacker, okay, on the call side. So when we have our normal 2 linebacker configuration fronts, that's easy. But we do have odd fronts with 3 linebackers. That's why we phrase it first inside linebacker. So I'm not going to go over that here, but I'm hoping that makes some sense, okay? And then what happens is the C-scrape reads the offensive tackle and goes butt side. So again, I'll bring that in when I get to the diagram part. Okay, the lucky Ringo is the Rover. I've said it before. The Rover doesn't know who he is, right? Oh boy, we got trouble. So we let the designated blitzer, the named blitzer, call the lucky Ringo. All right. This is a 4 off-a-side blitz. Huge. Okay, to send 4 defenders off of one side. Now, when we stick tag it, you'll see how that changes a little bit, but there's a reason why we would use a stick tag. Okay, it doesn't change anything for the dog or the C-scrape, but just the 2 other defenders involved in the pressure. Okay, that'll be brought in as well. The stick tag, okay, if you've not subscribers, push the button, it's free. But for subscribers, right, you've seen plenty of presentations where they've shown you the stick. The D end on the call side sticks A, which bumps the nose A away. There's your little tweak. Anytime we just say stick. Okay? So now, whether this is straight dog or dog stick, whoever the A-gap defenders are, they have draw. So I think you see where this is going, right? 4 off a side, we have designated draw defenders so that their responsibilities are predicated on their gap responsibilities. So A gap guys have draw. B and C gap defenders have what we call running back sift or screen. So that running back inserts in protection and then kind of sifts as well. Well, if you're a B or C gap defender, you got it. Okay? So therefore, this is what I was alluding to. This is a pass situation blitz. Now, I have used it in the past for a zone read RPO changeup, whole different look and reads and so forth for the quarterback. But it's predominantly a pass situation pressure, okay? And then I'm not going to go over this here today, but we do have what we call a stick ball. So the same stick with a ball, stick ball. And then the inside linebacker opposite the call delay plugs B gap. Okay, and you'll see why when I show you both the stick and what the defensive end away from the Lucky Ringo call does when it's pass. Okay? And that I will show you. All right, then. Let's get going on this. I am going to illustrate those involved in the dog blitz in blue, as well as the two safeties. And the only thing I'm going to show you with our trio coverage, so again, non-subscribers, hit the button, is what the safeties do. How they spin in the same direction as the dog blitz. Post-snap, though. Huge. We don't move until the ball's snapped. And we'll show you that as well when it comes to the Rover on the blitz. He doesn't move until the ball's snapped. Okay? Excuse me. And so then here we go. All right? And any words that I might need to write, sorry, I'll put in black. So up top here, we have, it's middle of the field. We have what we call 11 gun Dallas pistol. That's a 2x2, 11 personnel formation. Okay, it happens to be a rip. So again, non-subscribers, if you subscribe, you can learn why it would be called a rip and all those good things. All right, so we're going to go over first just the straight dog. Okay, straight dog. So the Rover's on the tight end. Rover's left, so now the Rover's saying lucky, lucky, lucky. Lucky triggers Louie, right? For safety rotation. That's it for them for now. They're not going to move until the ball snapped. These two code names underneath our two inside linebackers. The M is the Mike. He's Michigan. The B is the backer. He's Buffalo. The Mike is lined up on the left as well. So when the Mike hears lucky, I'm hoping he's saying Michigan, Michigan, Michigan. So he's telling the other linebacker, I'm the guy going. Okay, and that's, we make them do it. I don't care if we're talking 4-year guys, 5-year guys. The one time I had a 6-year guy in 38 years, they got to make the call. They got to prove to me they know what's going on. Okay? I don't assume a thing. So now it's going to be Michigan, right? So C-scrape, dog. C-scrape, dog. Okay? So now, right, nobody has to creep or anything like that. Again, non-subscribers, creep technique. Non-subscribers, hit the button. Okay, so now here's the technique for an attached, meaning outside linebacker on a tight end. The outside linebacker is always shooting hands, knockback. Boom! So the assumption, we're calling this, we're assuming it's pass, right? So he's going to knock him back. Now, obviously, the tight end can outside release or the tight end can inside release. Okay? We're going to do a little extra shoot with the inside hand, hoping to basically let the tight end release outside, kind of persuade him to release outside, but he still might release inside. Either way, okay? We don't want to get bogged down in it too much. Okay? Since the D gap, this is a D gap blitz, right? The D gap begins on the outside of the tight end. Okay, that's the D. The C begins on the outside of the tackle. See, so that'll come into play in a second with the C script. Because he's attached and he's got all the knockback, okay, he is going to push up field for a step and then head to his landmark, which is the deepest tip in the backfield. Remember, he's got force and cage and boot. So anything coming back to him, he's got to force it, including the boot. Okay? So because of his alignment, technically he's inside the D gap, right? He knocks back all the things I talked about, takes a step or two upfield, then hits the blitz. Because otherwise, if he comes at that angle, he can't get the force. He's already beaten around the edge. Okay? Now, the C scrape. So there's one off the side. Remember, right? 4 off the side. On the snap, this isn't a read yet. He heads to that outside edge of the tackle. That's his landmark. Then, right, read OT, butt side. What we usually get is the offensive tackle is looking to block out. So therefore, the inside C-scrape linebacker goes butt side into B gap. If he were to stay square or turn inside, he would stay outside. That's the read, go butt side. So if the tackle's facing this way, we want the C-scraper over there. And that could mean he's in the B gap. We understand that, okay? But we also don't want the tackle to potentially block him and him. One guy, we don't want that. So go butt side, okay? So there is number 2, right? We got 1 and 2 now, the dog and the C-scrape. So to complete the 4 on the side, the rules are a straight dog. DN call side. Slant to B gap, nose, slant A to the call. 3, 4. There's your 4 on the side. Okay? Draw, running back sift, running back sift. These 2. Force. Okay? So then now, the way this plays out, okay, inside linebacker away from the call has running back to him, draw or Q. So running back 2, draw or Q. Running back 2, draw or Q. Running back 2, draw or Q. Okay? So if the running back were to come this way, he's got him. The running back goes away, okay? He's looking for draw, so he's the other A gap. And then no draw, now he mirrors the quarterback. He's an extra guy in the box. So we let the offensive scheme dictate where our defenders are. Okay? I will get to the safeties. And so defensive end away has outside cage. Okay? So now the ball was snapped, right? Go all the way back to the beginning. Lucky Louie. He screws down. He's hot on the tight end. He rotates middle. And again, that's all I'm going to talk about with trio coverage. Okay? So then now when we want to run what we call dog stick, so the second option, dog stays the same, C-scrape, stays the same. Okay? Inside linebacker away from the call, stays the same. Safety spin, stays the same. Nothing changes except for these 2 guys. DN call side, stick A, which bumps nose A away. So now there are your 2 draw defenders. Here's your 1 running back sift screen defender. And running back to him, he's got it. Running back away, now he is in a position to really focus on the draw. We got 3 on it, so I'm about to tell you why we call the dog stick. And or no draw, now he's unblocked. And hopefully we get the quarterback to what we say, jerk the mule, tuck it and go. So the stick ball, right? This is, you see what's available because he's outside CA. This is why it becomes a delay plug B gap. Okay? So that's why I don't need to draw it all up. So when we're really expecting heavy draw, or maybe a sift screen in the A gap, something in the A gaps, that's when we'll call the dog stick. Because we've sacrificed 4 off the side. Now we only have 3, but we're much more secure for the draw. Okay? The basic family, it's 4 off a side. When we're trying to defend one segment of what could happen, like the draw, we're willing to sacrifice the 4th off the side. Okay? So now down here, I'm not going to go through every single thing up there like I did before. I just want to show you how it works now that the Rover's detached. Okay? And then I'm going to bring in something down here and then show it to you again up here. That's something's important, which is why we play it out of base, okay? So again, we're in middle of the field. What 10 gun Detroit is, it's a 2x2 formation, right? You see 2x2, so why it's Liz? Non-subscribers, hit the button, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you the straight dog. It's again out of trio, so I'm only going to show you the safety spinning. Rover's on the right, so it's a Ringo. Therefore, it's a Roger. Again, it's going to be a Michigan, okay? So now ball snapped. When he's detached, he's got staggered feet, and so that up toe is on the heels of his defensive end. He's no wider than 5 yards, so he doesn't have to move. So on the snap of the football, he's going to blitz from there. So there's no indicators. You're not moving, and so now the receiver's giving alerts to the court, right? So they have a remedy. We're not doing that. We say there is an imaginary point 2 yards outside that open tackle, right? No tight end. That's where we want the blitz to come from, because then that puts it on a course to be on that deepest tip. So again, the landmark in the backfield, because the dog has force on the run, cage on the pass. He's got to peel off for a flare pass route. He's got to peel off for the pitch. He needs to be as deep as the deepest tip. And in this case, it's the back. If the back moves, that hip changes. Okay, but that's huge. Right? Non-subscribers. A go blitz is a C gap. That's the aiming point. D gap, this is the D gap out here, so the aiming point is wider. Remember that up there with the tight end, right? So then now, here's one. Here comes your C scrape, right? Going butt side of the tackle. There's 2. Slant B, slant A, there's 3 and 4. Right? And remember, he's got running back 2, draw a Q. Running back 2, draw a Q. And the safety's on the snap. Screw down, so he's hard on 2. Rotate middle, so it's a single high look. Okay, so let me just make sure that you're clear with what I mean up here as far as force, cage, boot, right? If this running back were to flare, that's what I mean by peel off. And that's the same up there. It's the same everywhere. If the running back were to come in that type of a route, that's not the same thing. He's going to continue up to the quarterback. We've got a C scrape. Remember BC? BC defenders, running back sift. To us, if he's shooting out there in the C gap like that, that's the same thing. Now, Mike C scrape will take him. He's still good. The dog's still going to have a heavy pressure on it, right? So that takes care of that. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Okay? So then, if we were to do this as a dog stick, right? Everything stays the same, except now, stick A away, and there it is, right? Sacrifice the 4th off the side. Each time now, the end is the defensive end away from the call, so he's got outside cage. And again, remember, that's why a stick ball, he's going to delay the B gap. Okay, so what's happening here and why we're running it out of base. Base, we always have 2 high safeties, and we got minimum box numbers. So I don't mind telling you that, non-subscribers, okay? So what we get here, right, is a +1 in the box. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we blitzed him. That's 6. When you line up with 6 in the box, they can account for you. Basic run, a draw, protections, they can account for it. Now you blitz without ever showing it, you're not accounted for. Okay? Same as up here. You got +1 in the box. Okay, because the safety screwing down into the box, if they were to just run a regular play, he's now your +1. See, over here, the safety screwed down, but he's not in the box. He's in the box. So you just went from 6 to 7-man box. You went from 5 to 6. And what makes it possible is us playing in base. So we want to show pre-snap the minimum box numbers. See, that's all incorporated into this whole scheme that we just simply call dog. Okay? So like I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. And hopefully non-subscribers, I made the point. I really would love for you to subscribe. To everybody, please reach out to me, Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com. It's starting to happen. And when it does, I'm learning a ton as well. So I love the fact that we're helping each other. And we got Zoom meetings, Google Meets. I've done it just by email, but I mean, it's best if we set up this and now we could be interactive, right? So please do that because I would love for us to talk football.